at least the late game potential carry that you need to have in your back pocket for JDG. But there's still a lot to be decided. And Lucian locked in for FPX. Hey,
yep,
there we go.
There we go. The standard Lucian Nami combo able to come through. The domination that they're able to find, especially once they hit that level 3 mark, will be crucial. And now FPX clearly going to stick with the status quo, right? Playing down for Lwx and Hung. Hung not going to be on a super aggressive playmaker. It's always a little bit disappointing because you love when he goes forward. But obviously playing the Braum last game, had a great performance. And now JDG, knowing they're going up against Lucian Nami, we have the Lulu coming through. This was a lane matchup we had quite a bit at Worlds, if you like think back, right? Having teams bring out the Lucian Nami, then Aphelios, Lulu, always what was the answer. And now both teams going to go into second rotation looking at solo lanes.
Looking at those solo lanes, we got the Silas banned by JDG. So at least a little bit of start on that mid lane in those terms. But again, it's very interesting to see how FPX pick out these last two picks for themselves, right? What the Summit get for this second game in the LPL in the summer split here, and especially like how they kind of go about picking and pulling that, as they do focus mid lane with their first ban in the second phase in the LeBlanc. Maybe it's just mid lane focus all around here. Lysandra, the final ban for JDG.
Taking that one away, we kind of hit on it of that being one of the things people are comfortable in blind picking, but even could set up for a number of picks, right? Galio typically is another standout kind of premier blind pick that we do have coming through. Yagao brought out the Zoe last game, even if it didn't find such success. Is another pick that you just know he is comfortable to bring out on the table. But no, JDG going to go straight towards the Gnar with Gangplank off the table. This was one of Summit's highlight picks back in the LCS. They will not let him have his hands on it.
They will not. 369 going to be piloting that one this time around. I'd love to see a little bit of that communication, a little bit of that synergy come through for this composition for FPX in terms of that top side of the map. And this Galio would ensure that, at least between Kayle and Clid, and they do lock it in.
They're going to do it, Mazel. They're going to do it.
They're going to give it. They're going to do it, aren't they? I hope they do. I hope they do. I hope we get to see the reiteration.
Ooh,
it's not going to be against the Gangplank, though. But no.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it would not be the same, right?
We
would not be able to judge it. We would not be able to judge it evenly, but so far kind of hovering. I mean, all of these would be decent lane matchups, right? Things like the Irelia would be explosive and exciting. I'm disappointed. I wanted the explosive, exciting Camille, the Irelia. I wanted Summit to come in and lay down the gauntlet. I guess it would be kind of annoying getting into mid-game, though, and playing, like, let's say, really up against, like, Lulu on the opposing side. You jump in, the ultimate comes out, and then you feel like you do nothing. But, hey, we now ensure some scaling for the side of FPX as the game goes later. Not really having any targets that they can really use the Galio ult on does feel a little weird. Like, sure, Clid can jump in. You try to set it up that way, but JDG's comp now being incredibly comfortable with that scenario. Heck, they outrange FPX, right? Viktor, Aphelios can be able to do so much from afar, but they're also fine with you jumping in. Viktor puts down the gravity field. We've already hit on Aphelios being able to throw out the Moonlight Vigil. Lulu ult able to come on top as well. So for JDG, I mean, I feel like we're going to have to see them play with a little bit more tact than we saw in the last game. But for FPX, kind of hitting on it, right? Just a bit confused with the identity of what they're aiming for to come through. Very clear they want to snowball through bot side, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's the plan. Have Galio just constantly hover over, snowball through bot side. Don't even let this get into, like, mid or late game team fights. But if it does, I guess you're just banking on Summit being the person who could look to 1v9 the game.
Little point here. It's interesting to me, the conversation that we've had about JDG and even hearing from the players, right? It's like, oh, we want to try some stuff out a couple times, you know, every now and then. Well, hey, we got new champions for both 369 and Yagao, at least in the summer split here. And so I'm very interested that JDG choose to pull this out in Game 3. Obviously, a lot of things were banned away from them in terms of the draft going into Game 3. But now that we've gotten the win conditions, at least, we've gotten a little bit of the strength that we've seen FPX grow over the beginning part of this series and now into the third game. It's all about execution. It does still come down to a lot of the win conditions we set out at the very beginning of the series, but all the way down here in the third game of the series, I think it's interesting to see how far we've come and how the differences will be. Summit will be the late game carry for FPX in this one.
Yeah, and even just hitting what you just said, right? The mistakes that can define it. We've seen mistakes define Game 1 and Game 2.
We got 5-man stack for JDG. Let's see if they want to get anything early on as our final game of Series 2 kicks off now. FPX versus JDG. Remember, we still have our match of the week coming after this. Viego versus Top Esports. That one's going to be a fun one. But make sure you stay locked and loaded for this one. Who will come out on top? Will FPX find yet another win? Guess we'll find out.
For FPX, they're the team that we said we want to see making plays. They will have forced some rough laning phases coming out, especially in the mid lane, right? Viktor just going to be able to bully out the Galio so ferociously, constantly autoing him down. Your Q so strong at level 1. The laser able to come through. He can't even like look to walk forward or aggressively taunt you or set anything up, I think, without having to blow flash post 3, just for the fact that if he does just walk forward, right, you put down your W, and then you would have to commit that summoner. So going to be curious to see what FPX look to do. JDG don't have much set up in their lanes, though, right? I feel like Kanavi is looking a lot more to be in Clid's face, find out where he is, and then allow for those isolated laning phases to come through for JDG where they know they can thrive. Especially for JDG where you want a slower pace game with less action to get to that mid game just fine. Have the Viktor, Aphelios, Lulu take over, and then 369 and Kanavi kind of play a facilitating role.
Which is an interesting position to be in the first place for JDG, but a lot of propensity to carry through the bottom lane for both these two teams. We'll get that a little bit of early aggression, although he misses the glitter lance there. Get a little bit more back from Lwx and Hung, but again, you got to watch that level 3, the big tick up in damage and the burst potential this bot lane will have, as we also see the opposite side focus for both these junglers. Ooh,
already nice job of the brush control coming through for FPX as well.
He's got level 2. He pinged over here. He might be looking for that early gank. The cheese. Oh, no. Hope's going to walk right into it. He flashes away, though. Won't have the flash to get over the wall, but does have the Severum, so the healing comes through.
Still, really nice by Hope, right? To, like, have the instincts and the reaction to know to flash towards his jungle rather than, I guess, doing what might feel more out of, like, habit of, like, flashing in your lane towards your tower or anything like that, right? Not getting caught out by the bubble, nothing being there to anchor him down. In the end, it was summoner for summoner as well because Hung committed his flash onto that play.
Kanavi tries to go find some chicken nuggets, does not find any. Clid has already eaten them all up. Says, gobble, gobble, gobble. That's the turkey, not chicken. But hey, same thing.
Yeah, not exactly the same as Mazel. Very close though. Is Clid now gonna go hunting?
This is so funny. They've both literally just been hunting each other. Like Kanavi goes finds the chicken.
For Clid is prio in his lanes, and Care started boots, so Care's gonna be able to get here incredibly fast.
Trying to have a little bit of fun there, but won't be able to get the Gromp. Kanavi has to go out of his blue side jungle and lose his blue buff here. There's 4 members of FPX strong in his enemy side jungle. We'll be able to find that at least maybe the fight afterwards. Oh, Clid in some trouble. Both junglers forced to flash away. Bubble lands, so nothing else will take place.
If Kanavi could have found that kill, that would have been so huge, right? When we're hitting on for FPX, looking to kind of snowball early through this bottom side, we could have shut that down early, have Clid on the back foot. I feel like that would have given JDG a lot of momentum as we come up to the top lane. Summit so far doing incredibly well, spamming and trading with his Q, forcing 369 under turret. Both do have fleet footwork though, so I don't really think this lane should ever be in a scenario without like huge over-aggression where we should see solo kills coming through. But both top laners can get back up here with TPs.
They will indeed. And it's going to continue to not be the big fireworks show maybe you would want in the top lane between 369 and Summit. That was last game. But now this time around, it's just Summit trying to get to his win condition, trying to get to the late game, and trying to bridge, at least have the rest of the team bridge the gap for him at that point. We do have Dragon coming up quickly. I would wonder how much FPX are wanting to put those early objectives in for themselves to ensure that they can get that timer to the late game. But it's a little bit difficult when you're pushed in so heavily.
Well, you need to remember, right? Even though you're hitting on like Summits scaling specifically, as we see a lot of trading coming out from these top laners, they're like JDG feel great. Like JDG have Viktor, Aphelios. They're definitely gonna be thriving as well. Especially, I feel like Yagao can have such a massive impact in this game if it does go later on. Just being able to zone them off with the laser, how much the Chaos Storm will be able to do as well. So, looking at JDG, who again are fine with a bit of a slower paced game, able to come out. FPX though, small advantage in bot lane so far from the fact that they were able to force that flash. Looks like Hope will have some minions to catch, so it won't even be a full wave of advantage, but still, any small advantage you can find making your way towards your mythic. Gale Force Mandate is when Lucian Nami just feels like it can become unstoppable. Gale Force in your face, Lucian having all the damage in the burst, and then being able to take control of the game.
Yeah, and you're looking for that control for FPX, especially early on in this bottom side, so that you can get the control of the objectives and continue to at least try to scale up in some fashion. But if you can get the snowball potential, that is a huge advantage that you can have for FPX. As Summit hits 6 first, pressuring 369 off, and 369 going to have to walk back to lane.
Now, Summit not only going to get his ult right, but is going to gain that bonus range and be able to clear more safely and even just be able to bully out 369 a little bit more. So, good on him, and I love it. Neither team really looking for any early interaction.
We vibing.
JDG look like they might start up Dragon, which they will. And Care does have TP if FPX want to contest. He's TPing back to tower.
Clid did get spotted out on the ward, but yeah, FPX are moving in here. Dragon already going to go down to Kanavi. He's taking it away, but now he might commit his life. Flash from Hung, double bubble, and here comes Care with the triple taunt. FPX, they found the early fight, and that's missing. Also getting chased down by Clid. FPX are on a roll. This new team, Summit, coming in. What is this? It's a different beast. I already said it, but this time, it's a monster.
I love how he had no part of the play, but you still tie him in.
Dang
bringing
right.
the morale, bringing the momentum, but Hung with the flash bubble to set everything up. It was gorgeous. And then the other members of FPX just funneling in. They might not have been on Drake first, but the fact that they had the TP on the Galio, so he could get here, has his ultimate available. And then JDG, right, they were committed to the Dragon, so they're left in this position where Hung lands the flash bubble onto 2 members. They burn Yagao's flash as well. Care able to follow through with the taunt, and then Clid finishing the job with the Sonic Wave, and doesn't end. Might get a gank on top. 369 though, not going to be caught out.
We wanted an early advantage for LWX. It's LWX or bust. And at this point, 2-0 on the Lucian Nami. They are going to have all the want they can have, at least in the bottom lane, in terms of when they can be aggressive, when they can look for timings. Speaking of looking for timings, though, right as the Rift Herald spawns, we get another fight. Heroic entrance coming through, but Clid gets Divine Judgment onto him. Survives with the flash over the wall. Care in some trouble here, though, as they're trying to chase them down. The Chaos Storm is huge. Kanavi overextends. The overextension paid dearly here in the Heartbreaker. JDG's heart is shattered.
I love how Kanavi sees what Clid did in last game and he's like, no, I could do it better. Thinking they have the damage once the Chaos Storm comes out, decides to follow through with the Q. And I'm calling it, oh my god, Ox was right. Ox said FPX were gonna beat JDG today. We laughed, we clowned him, and
now you're crying.
I'm not crying. Huge lead for FPX. I might love JDG, but it's great to see FPX bouncing back like this, punishing the mistakes coming through from JDG.
Clid survives. I can't believe he survived in all of this.
I mean, to be fair, right, they walk in, no damage coming through from 369 to start off. Care actually being the one to come through. And then Clid, like you said, flashing away. But still a bit of a stretch committing onto this one. And then Clid perfectly timing the stun to come through so Kanavi isn't able to find even a single kill. And then Reset City coming through for the Viego.
The flash, that feels so bad. The damage had already calculated, and the resets just come through. And now we were talking about 2-0 lead for LWX, but at this point, it's a 6-0 lead for FPX. They've got kills across the board. Everybody's been involved at this point, and I think it's actually incredible the lack of respect, I guess, that JDG has shown early on.
And now it's pretty ridiculous, right? Because we have 1 Divine Sunder for Clid over just Iron Spike Whip and 2 Longswords for Kanavi. So huge, contrast in terms of dueling potential able to come out in favor of Clid. But I think more importantly is the Gale Force on LWX, because now, I mean, it is so risky for Hope to just walk up and hit the wave. Sure, you have shields coming from missing and you have the Wild Growth to come through to make sure he doesn't ultimately go down. But the fact that 1 Gale Force combo or 1 Gale Force culling can force so much to be used from JDG is terrifying.
It really is. And now at this point, Snowball is coming to town against JDG. And I thought maybe Clid might feel okay with a bit of shenanigans bot lane, but again, there's no reason to throw away the lead that they've gotten this early on. They know that they're in control here. They can wait for a little longer, look for the skirmishes that really matter to them, as we saw Kanavi actually visiting up towards top side of the map this time around. Try to see if you can get something for 369 up there. It is all towards bot for FPX and towards this dragon. It's still 45 seconds till it spawns.
Yeah, JDG gonna try and find a way to get in here, but feels like ultimately they might just give up the objective.
Chaos Storm used.
Gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's a decent cooldown by Yagao there. Mid lane. We're just trying to get some pressure. If Kanavi could follow it up, that's an easy pickoff against Care. Focusing the semi-globals, but again, because like they are just looking bot lane. That's all they need to do. They know their win condition, and here we go.
They even have the Rift Herald still, which they will finally drop. So it's going to guarantee first turret over to FPX. Lwx going to get even more gold injected straight into his veins, Mazel. Golden veins.
The golden veins.
First. And heck, I mean, right, it's only 11 minutes in the game, so plate's still up as well. Going to be even more money. And now for JDG, they have to look to cross map. They're going to try and play out through this top side. Kanavi might be able to steal away some camps, but it looks like that will be about it. But, oh, Summit might say no.
Try to steal it away. Oh, just the fleet footwork. Hey, got a little healing there at least. We did get first mythic completed for Yagao, though, in mid lane for JDG. And JDG themselves looking at top lane here. Not going to have much of a wave to work with. Just trying to get a couple plates and back away.
JDG not going to be able to find too much. Makes sense, right? I think it would be very hard to dive Summit at this point in time, especially with the fact that the resets had already come out from the side of FPX, so multiple members should be looking to come up here, start rotating. Lwx and hung around the map and start just breaking down more turrets. Get more plate gold on them as well, considering you still have a minute and a half to be able to get that done. Care's ultimate back on the board really means that FPX probably going to be looking to just double down, heck, triple down on their aggression. Make your way into the enemy jungle, control some of this vision, work your way up towards that top side, and allow Lwx to probably get one, maybe two more plates at most, is I think what you can hope for with 1 minute left. But heck, maybe not even that, with the fact that JDG bringing Kanavi up here as well, if you look at the minimap. Even 369.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people up this way. You still have Summit split pushing in the side lane, exactly what you would want him to do in this situation. 369 caught out a little bit early here. Will be stacking up the Gnar, though, and Clid needs to be careful.
Not going to be able to find anything, but still going to guarantee that FPX can't go and be the aggressors on the top half of the map, considering that JDG do have more people allocated towards that side, but still, Summit getting the free time with the bot lane turret, pushes that one in. You're denying some EXP, some gold from 369, and now you can just look to pivot your jungle and mid back up towards top lane like they're doing now and play around this Lucian. Gale Force active still available. Now Mandate built on Hung, so the combo only got even more deadly.
As we do have red-white for hope, at least now, as a fighting tool for JDG. Kanavi looking to defend against this top lane push. Again, trying not to give up as many objectives, at least to Lwx. The plates will fall now, but it's still a side lane tower that could be in a bit of a rough shape against the bot lane for FPX. At this point, though, you got to start thinking for JDG in terms of, how they want to allocate the rest of these resources, how they want to respond to the pressures that will be coming for FPX. Because the thing for FPX is, we talked about the Kayle a little bit, but with this advantage, you would expect them to put the pedal to the metal, push it up, keep going against JDG, and not let them fall back on their laurels of the late game scaling that they would like to.
Yeah, for FPX, I think you're really going to be looking a lot at this next Herald being able to come through. I think as FPX, you would hope that you can just naturally break down top turret without having to use any intervention. And then you can take Herald, look to drop that one mid, break that one down, because you do have a Viktor who's going to be incredibly annoying clearing these waves consistently, and then force your way into the enemy jungle, look for picks.
Summit's level
and
11.
Really snowball the game through there.
He's level 11 now, so a little bit more strength, but not enough to deal with 3 potential members coming your way. Summit in some trouble here. Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
A little too quick. Gotta be quick in the net.
Not able to land, and this is going to open up for Clid to just solo the Herald and go for the sequence you were just hitting on, right? Commit your bot lane to just taking top turret by themselves. Oh, is Hung going to find this?
Oh, tidal wave just a tiny bit off. It's okay, though.
So it looked like he was hoping to throw tidal wave that way, zone him into the bubble, but with the fact that Hope had the Gale Force, not even a chance of doing that. But hey, You get a turret plus Rift Herald for free. You can now turn towards mid lane, drop the Herald like we just talked about. And JDG, they maybe get bot lane turret, but now with other members walking towards mid, Summit might feel fine to just walk up and clear the wave.
As we watch the tower go down, more objectives for FPX, who are still in terms of this game, very much in control. Over 4,000 gold in the lead. They're stacking up to their win conditions in terms of getting objectives early for Lwx to bridge the game into Summit, carrying the rest of the way. Kraken Slayer now does get completed for Summit, so his stacking is on its way. Next thing is where this obviously mid lane focus comes through with the Rift Herald. We have Dragon coming up in about 35 seconds or so. And we see Clid actually heading down towards that pit first to try to maybe make sure the vision game is there and make sure they're set up and stable.
Yes, that's one benefit to JDG committing to the bot side of the map and not going towards top, is that they were able to establish vision control, right, because they weren't contested for it, so we'll at least be able to spot FPX. The problem is, when you're behind, it doesn't really matter if you can spot them out, especially when they have this Herald and are just going to drop it down on mid lane turrets. So JDG is going to have to accept their fate and wait for 369 to start stacking up this Mega Gnar bar, even if they opt in deciding to want to look for a fight.
He's trying to stack it up now. Lwx does use the culling there, so decent cooldown. But now it's into the Dragon Pit for the fight here as Kayle trying to go around the side, make sure the vision is okay. He might be looking for over the wall. Big taunt, 4-member taunt! And Kayle makes the game changing, but it's a big AoE combo and JDG, they're throwing it right back at him! Look at Hope! He just goes for the Gale Force. Yagao gets stunned up, locked up, and maybe he's just dead here. As now it's another kill for the ADC of JDG. It's turned back as the Chaos Storm. But just like that, you blink, you miss it. JDG back in the game and now taking their second dragon.
It sucks for FPX because Kayle had that perfect flank, but JDG having even better setup with 369's ultimate leading to the dragon. We'll go straight to the replay because right from the outside, it looks like FPX had this. Kayle over the wall. You're going to be able to land yourself on multiple members. Goes in, finds the taunt, but the kick comes through, and then the Mega Gnar bar, right? 369 hits Mega, gets a flash in, and just lands absolutely everyone to come through. Yagao follows through with the damage, with the Moonlight Vigil layered on top of it. Like, my God, you could not have asked for a better scenario for 369, and JDG able to clean up off the back of it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the 4-man taunt was absolutely huge, but then you raise them up one with a 5-man Mega Gnar ulti. No big deal.
Mazel, that's a top 5 play.
That's a top 5 play
right there. Top 5 plays.
I definitely will have to be revisiting that one. Absolutely huge from JDG to stem the bleeding, even if not a lot, just a tiny bit.
Still 4K gold behind, but right. What heck? When you're like 4K gold behind at 12 minutes, you take what you can get.
A flash is a dub. Like at that point.
But FPX, now to get back to reality though, hard forcing down this bot lane tier 2. Once again, JDG not feeling confident in trying to opt into a fight. Looking for the cross map, having Missing and Kanavi up towards his top side. Kanavi counter jungling, stealing away camps, and they will at least be able to get a turret in their favor up towards top lane. For FPX though, being able to extend those side lanes feels really good when you have this Kayle who is going to win out in that 1v1 and just give her more breathing room and more like ability to push 369 even further back and open yourself up to even deeper vision in the enemy jungle.
The vision game does need to be on point, as we saw is the case for last game. I mean, I guess in the end for FPX, the vision game didn't help them out too much. They still lost the fight. We do still need to see the at least bits and pieces being put together. Baron is coming up on the table about 15 seconds. Hope caught out, but double TOP. Okay, JDG. I know you like Hope. Maybe a little overzealous.
Not able to find anything off that. Just going to force their way into mid lane right now. No objectives on the map really feasible for JDG, so feels like this is just where you go into turtle mode, catch waves, You already have vision control set up on top side that would spot out any sort of Baron shenanigans that go down, but with that FPX's comp, you don't really expect that. FPX should probably now start looking for picks, but TP coming up from Care.
They're looking for picks. They're looking for picks. 369, they taunted down Everfrost there. He's got Gnar and the rest of the team. Gnar back, and now Clid is way far away from his teammates, but there is the Divine Judgment. And the tidal wave back in. FPX are looking to take down 369. LWX finds one. Summit's going to find another one. No, it's a double kill for the ADC of FPX. Yagao's on the side here with the Chaos Storm, though. Got to be careful. LWX goes overextended and dies himself. That is not what you want for FPX. As now Clid comes back in, smites the Gromp for a little bit of help. They got to get out of here, and it looks like they will do just that. A bit of wonky play from FPX. They make it out.
Both sides, right? JDG trying to overcommit onto members like Summit and Care coming through once 369 finds the ulti, but then FPX going a bit too far forward and allowing for Yagao to be able to get his damage down, clean up that fight. Really nice play coming out from Yagao to punish LWX and Hung. We'll get a replay here. TP coming out from Care. They think 369's overextended and want to punish, but the other members of JDG are making their way through at the same time. Nice hop, get some good distance off. And then here they're hoping to be able to burst the members down. Great kick onto Clid. But Clid ults away, gets the Kayle ult as well to make sure that he doesn't go down. And this is where Summit and LWX just start cleaning up. Yagao's still not here. No frontliner in sight with Gnar going down. But Yagao throwing out the E in the Chaos Storm. Hung just getting 100 to 0. Then LWX eating in. Felt really bold. And Kanavi punishing that move. Still, you love the flair from LWX. It's something he's always had. It's something you hope he will always keep up. And, I mean, heck, gold lead, pretty much the same. FPX still sitting at that 4K, 4.5K advantage.
Air might be caught out here, though. In some trouble against Kanavi. Does get the taunt off. The rest of JDG back away. So, a little bit duped there by FPX's JDG. But now FPX looking at the Baron.
And that's what FPX want to do, right? FPX are trying to force aggression now while they're on such a strong power spike, and heck, even having the Kayle here able to whittle this down. But JDG catching on quickly. FPX decide to back off, and seems like they're hoping that JDG just walk into River so they can try and find a pick, but aren't going to do it. Now FPX going to be able to rotate back down towards bottom side, but JDG are the ones with full vision control of the River.
A nice little move there. LWX again using the culling early just to whittle down the health bars a little bit, but FPX will move in to try to claim vision. LWX needs to be really careful though. He's out on his lonesome. JDG gonna pull the trigger towards Baron though. They will be fine giving up this dragon. They could just force the hand of FPX.
Looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to have Summit solo this one. Summit does have TP as well to be able to join up as soon as possible. I mean, we have all the big ultis up. We have all flashes available. We're going to see if Care can find the engage.
This is a burger if I've ever seen one, and it's flipped.
Oh, Clid
gets the smite, and JDG are in some trouble. They are completely surrounded. FPX just need to close the pincer. The heroic entrance not going to go through for Care, but it does not matter. No one cares. JDG is moving down. Hope tries to get the plays, tries to get Summit. They've actually turned it. And 369 is back, but 369 goes down. Hung and Clid, they're trying. The resets for Clid. Oh, he can't get the fourth one. It's not going to be the Quadra, but FPX find the fight yet again. Oh my God, he still finds it. No way. He's got the red buff. He's got the damage, and he clean aces JDG. What a fight, and FPX are alive and well.
Huge fight coming out for Clid with the resets. They're able to steal away the Baron as well. Massive. I mean, that's. I can't say how big that is. Again, we've been hitting on Clid and how it's been a poor split for him. And the fact he's able to come through this fight, finds the steal onto the Baron. Able to get right into the pit. Smite comes on through. And then Care taunts him up. Bit of a split fight, right? We see Care actually ending up going in one direction, split off from the rest of his team. But Summit able to do a lot on the back end of this fight. You're kind of trading, right? 369 gets low, Yagao gets really low, 4 Care going down. But this is where things get a little bit dicey. Hope going forward, he's able to delete Summit. 369 comes in. We quickly realize, hey, wait, that's a Viego. I'm low. I'm just giving him another target to find a reset off onto. Beautiful bubble from Hung. And then they're just able to keep that momentum going forward. So I got to call it Mazel at this point, right? It feels like a done deal for the side of FPX. It would take 2 huge miracles, 3 rainbows, and 4 pots of gold for JDG to come back in this.
Well, JDG going to be looking for it, but I don't know if they can find it. FPX pushing in the top side now with no real hope to get into it at this point, because the fights have been really difficult for JDG to process in the moment. It feels like the burst damage is getting very hard to deal with that FPX is putting out, and the combos are just terrifying at this point.
And right, we've seen how JDG can win a fight, because it's definitely possible. If 369 finds the big ultimate, you set up for Yagao and hope. I mean, it's there, but still, there's very tight-knit spaces where that can work. You're hoping to fight in chokes, you're hoping to fight against terrain, and it also relies on FPX kind of running into you group as a ball, so not the easiest setup able to come through, and I would say a bit reliant on FPX to be able to give you that engage angle.
Yeah, exactly that. Just trying to find the engages, trying to find where it really matters. But in the end, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because the tidal wave's coming in now across the back of the board. Kanavi goes for the kick, doesn't find the kill on the hung. 369's coming in with the Gnar, ready to rock and roll. If they don't find what they're looking for this time around, it will be FPX that gets out.
I mean, for Kanavi looking for that play right, you know you're very far behind. You can feel, you might not see the gold exactly, but knowing that this is a dire situation, you need to look for every opportunity you can. Almost able to take out Hung, backs off in the end, and ultimately JDG don't lose anything for committing to that play. So we're on 3 items for Yagao, only 2 items so far for Hope. We're really looking towards if he can get that Infinity Edge built in time for the next fight, and then really start dishing out the damage. Nice to see 369 as well, turning into a bit more of a front line by committing to that Randu in second, but still, I mean, FPX are on their power spike. AD Kayle feels like, you know, the one time you really outpace AP Kayle is at the 2-item mark, not scaling as well as her, definitely not taking advantage of your full kit, but at 2 items, able to be able to get out more damage. And the rest of FPX's comp, like Lucian, this is where you thrive. You're a mid-game champion, able to get that damage down. Same with Care, considering that you are a utility champion who doesn't build damage. You already have your core utility items built. Like FPX are thriving.
They thrive.
Dragon's up in 40 seconds. I almost said 40 minutes, but it's been a long day.
Don't do that to me, Lwx.
Especially for you. But I mean, the fact that it's 6 a.m. here and we still have 1 series left, absolutely crazy.
It is actually crazy. I was just thinking about that myself, but it is the fact that we are getting these very tightly contested series in totality. And I think it's very fun to keep track of, even if it is, you know, a little bit mentally weary. It is still really nice to see, you know, especially in this series, the comeback, the revitalization of FPX just alone in this best of 3. But as a whole, finding their first win, now coming in here and pushing JDG to the brink.
Yeah, and then it lets us push narratives. It lets us say that this roster is undefeated, which, you know, sounds really funny, which is why we'll say it. It's also just factually true, but, you know, factually true in a nuanced, like, hey, they changed 1 member sort of way. But Mazel, what we need now is some action. What we need now is for FPX to keep doing what they're doing.
Wait,
oh my God, Care.
Oh, I mean, he is pretty tanky. They're going to TP. Okay, this is just going to turn into an all-out barn brawl as both teams using a lot of ultis, but backing away.
Yep, we don't need no barn brawls in our LPL. We don't have barns. All our barns burned down 2020 with all the bangers we had. But right now, FPX going for resets. You know they're going to look to kind of reset their top wave state, get that pushed in, get into the enemy jungle, get some vision down, and FPX already angling to look for a bit of a Baron play once again.
Another piece to the puzzle has been assembled. Level 16 for FPX Summit on the Kayle.
Yep, permanently exalted, going to be dealing massive amounts of damage. JDG now. Last game we said they need to pray to 369. This one, there's no one. This one,
this one they're praying to emptiness.
Well, this one, like I said, right, they have that setup available. But we need to see something out from 369 comboing into that damage. But for FPX, that would take them giving them that setup. So that's why I feel like for JDG, it is quite dire right now. Luckily, you do have all your flashes up, and summoners are there to be able to try to reposition or disengage out from a fight and then maybe find a better angle, considering that you are the team playing with the range, coming through, but Care, with this Predator, has continuously been able to find the angles. Even Hung, right? Hung has had such a phenomenal game. The bubbles this game have been on point. Here we go. FPX starting at the Baron, and another bubble!
Oh, Kanavi gets about half his health bar taken out just by the combo of Hung and Lwx. Baron was started up. They pull off in terms of trying to get the pressure in mid lane. They might just turn back, though.
Yeah, they're going to keep going. I mean, right, FPX want to abuse this power spike they have over the enemy team, so they're going to keep trying to force.
Oh, they're catching him out. Yagao is almost dead already. Divine Judgment comes through, and that's it. That's it, FPX. They're going to hand JDG their first loss. Lyric, this was all worth it. The time, the wait for FPX. The team has come together, and apparently it's just Exodia time over there because Summit comes into the roster. They hand JDG their first series loss of Summer Split, and they do so in dominant fashion. It's 10,000 gold in the lead. Screw the Dragon Soul. It is all about the wins for the Phoenix.
What an absolutely huge victory for FPX. 1-5 coming into the series up against a 6-0 JDG. We've been saying since the start of LPL that FPX have looked better than what their scoreline has shown. They've had a very hard schedule. They've played against 5 out of the 6 teams sitting at the top of the standings right now. Finally able to take one of them down after bringing Summit in. Summit overall having a solid performance. Hung in this last game, though, beautifully done on the Nami.
I just want to point out one thing we've seen in both post games so far with Summit. They're talking so much between the two. Obviously, both from South Korea makes it a little easier, but I think that is a true unlocking for Clid, to have somebody he can feel confident in talking to and communicating with across the top of the map. And we just saw such a different version of FPX in this one in both games, right? Like being able to see Summit could do both. The Gragas, the Kayle, they all work out, and JDG, as we said, fall in. Yes, they got their 3 games, but it came out to a loss, and now they will take sole possession of second place.
Yeah, and I feel like JDG made a ton of mistakes. I feel like more so in game 2, but even in this game, a lot of the timings that they were looking for in terms of contesting objectives were just really rough coming through. They'd won beautiful fight, right?
They did.
Which was kind of FPX giving it to them when FPX thought that they were finding that beautiful engage with Care's flash over the wall, but it just laid it up for 369. But still, kind of disappointing for JDG. Not the end of the world. Like, I mean, you're a team who was 6-0. You are now 6-1. You lost to FPX. Like, you don't even know if FPX will be a team that makes it to playoffs at the end of the split. And I feel like wins against playoff teams are always, like, right, they're more important because those are the teams you're going to continue to play against.
I feel like that's going to come back to bite you in the future, Lyric. I don't know. I just have a inkling.
Wait, I didn't say FPX aren't in playoffs. I said we don't know if FPX will be in playoffs.
We know what you meant, Lyric. But also the fact that
whoa. I said on the last 2 weeks ago that I think FPX are a lot better of a team than their score shows. I was saying on broadcast every week. But right now making their way up to 2-5 is a hard hold to overcome, because typically you can make it to about 8 losses, and that's like your top safe spot. Anything more than that is a complete gamble. So FPX don't have a lot of breathing room, but it's great to see the bounce back of the momentum continuing, right? Beating RA the other day, now beating JDG. Hopefully we don't have to talk about, the 8-loss number anytime soon for this FPX squad. And, hopefully we get to keep seeing them develop with them bringing Summit in onto the roster for the first time and looking solid.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for me is we got to see, at least in the last game, an early game composition drafted, obviously, and then executed on. We got to see at least the Lucian Nami actually come through instead of, parts of it being banned or not chosen, and come through with abandoned, right? Like Hope and Missing didn't have a chance down there. And it was so interesting to watch the game unfold where Kanavi was still looking for these engages. Yagao was putting out so much damage from the mid lane. But in the end, again, I'm going to stick to what I said in the game. It didn't even matter because FPX just seemingly had this advantage that was uncontestable.
Yeah, never able to lose it. Lwx and Hung. I mean, right, it started with the bottom lane. It started with kind of supplementing that bottom lane, playing with Clid in the enemy jungle, just really honing in on that pressure. And that's been the FPX story. It's kind of been, if Lwx and Hung are able to get ahead, that's when FPX look like they know how to play League of Legends. If that first thing doesn't come true, that's when FPX look like a little bit of a mess. So when FPX come in, they set their bot lane up for success. The coin flips that they typically look for, like, come up heads.
That flip, man. That flip. Ah, that was so clutch for Clid, but so tragic for JDG and the Baron.
Yeah, it was a rough one coming through. I mean, we're talking up FPX a lot. For the side of JDG, I will say, like, we still saw, I'd say, good moments from either certain players or the team in each of the games. Obviously, like 369 coming to mind in game 2, and then the team fight this time around. So